Guys, before the start of this video, I actually forgot to give a final score prediction of the game. So, I'm just going to go ahead and say it here. I'm going to say 35, no, 28. 28-20 Bucks. So yeah, hope you guys all enjoy the video. Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be doing a Week 11 preview for the Buccaneers versus the New York Giants. So like I said, guys, we're going to be doing a Week 11 preview versus the New York Giants. The Buccaneers are currently on a 3-game losing streak and have a 3-6 record. And, to be honest, Dirk Koetter needs to get things back on track if he wants to keep his job. Maybe Jason Light as well, the whole coaching staff. Things are getting very close to blowing this whole thing up. I don't want that to happen. Obviously, I do want some changes to be made at certain positions, and I'll give my opinions on that later on down the line. But it always feels nice to win. So yes, I do want to see the Buccaneers still continue to win games, darn it. It was actually very interesting. I was actually able to finally do my first ever poll. I finally got the community tab for my YouTube channel. I saw Corey Draper, the Play Reaction, use it. I was like, I'm going to use it too. So I put out a poll. I think it had around 140 some votes. So thank you everybody who voted in that poll. And that poll was this. Who did you guys think was going to win this Week 11 matchup versus the New York Giants? 66% said that the Buccaneers were going to win, 32% said that the New York Giants were going to win, and 1% said that it was going to be a tie. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I'm going to be putting the comments that some of you guys left from that poll in the upper right-hand side of this video, so if you want to read them and see other people's opinions, go ahead and read those, and if you want your comments to be posted in future videos and whatnot, go ahead and leave some comments on polls and whatnot. They may make them in the video. But I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts of what's going to happen in this game. And the first thing that I am intrigued about in this game is the play calling. Now, in this past game, Dirk Koetter admitted, whatever you want to call it. Pewter Report and other media sources said that he had admitted it, which I thought was an interesting way to word it. But point is that Dirk Koetter said that he called plays during this last game versus the Washington Redskins, a game in which the Buccaneers only put up 3 points, and a lot of that was due to turnover problems and red zone woes and whatnot. But the point is that out of nowhere, Dirk Koetter just seemed to take away play calling from Todd Monken. One of the very few bright spots of this Buccaneers season so far, Dirk Koetter took that away. And when asked about it, he stated that he had his reasons, and then further elaborated that something needed to change in red zone problems and whatnot. Obviously, nothing changed because they didn't score that much this past game versus the Redskins, but it has most recently been reported that Dirk Koetter has given the play calling duties back to Todd Monken, which I feel is absolutely the right move. Todd Monken has been a wonderful play caller so far this year. Probably not exactly a head coaching candidate for other teams who may be looking for head coaches, but I guess you never know. I would say he's kind of a dark horse candidate because he's been a phenomenal play caller this year, a very, very good offensive coordinator. Really makes you wish that Monken was calling plays last season, because maybe things would have went better. Maybe the Bucs could have been able to score more, have more prolific offense than they already did. They had a good offense last year, but, maybe they could have done some better things. So I'm very happy to see Todd Monken calling plays again. A very, very encouraging thing. I hope he calls plays for the rest of the season. The second thing I want to look at is also on the offensive side of the ball, and that is going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick. Was named the starter once again for this upcoming game versus the New York Giants after his abysmal game versus the Redskins where he had multiple turnovers. I believe he finished the game with 4 turnovers, maybe 3, correct me if I'm wrong. I know he had 2 interceptions and a fumble, that's all I can remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's either 3 or 4, regardless, that's still not a pretty number, especially considering that there were no touchdowns to counterbalance that. So, some people were surprised at this move that Fitzpatrick was still named the starting quarterback, including all those turnovers versus the Redskins. To me, it's not too surprising because the coaching staff still believes, these are quotes, from Todd Monken and Dirk Koetter, they still believe that Ryan Fitzpatrick gives them the best chance to win. And I understand the argument of, well, let's play Jameis Winston, see what you have in Jameis, so that way you can make a decision on what you're going to do with him in this offseason. And yes, I do completely understand that, but at the same time, like I said a while ago, you can't keep on switching out quarterbacks because you're just going to completely lose the locker room, and I get it. It's like, well, Dirk's already lost the locker room. Kind of, but you don't want to completely lose the locker room. You don't want to be insanely desperate. I think the last situation I saw where quarterbacks were getting switched in and week out was with Ben McAdoo in the New York Giants. And oh boy, that did not end well for Ben McAdoo. I'm not on the side of switching quarterbacks. I think that's too dysfunctional for me, in my opinion. But anyway, now that long rant's over, like I said, Ryan Fitzpatrick definitely needs to rebound from this last game of having multiple turnovers. He has the weapons to do it. He's got his really exciting and good offensive play caller back. I'm pretty sure Ryan Fitzpatrick adores Todd Monken right now. I think they have a very good relationship. So hopefully things can bounce back. Ryan Fitzpatrick can look like the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the first 3 weeks, 2.5, I guess. You know, whatever happened with that Pittsburgh Steelers game, whatever. At least the first 2 weeks of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hopefully we get that guy back, because that guy was electric as can be. So hopefully he comes back, uses all of his giant repertoire of weapons. You know, we've named him the entire season, and hopefully he can get back on track. The next thing I'm looking out for is actually our kicking situation. The big cat is gone, much to my sadness. I only cried for, you know, a few days. It's not too bad. But in his place now we have Cairo Santos, the guy who played for the Kansas City Chiefs for, I believe, 3.5 years, around that time. He also played for the Chicago Bears in 2017 before getting injured. And then most recently he played a couple of games this season for the for the St. Louis Rams, a very high-end Super Bowl favorite. So you know if the potential Super Bowl champs are picking Cairo Santos, and hey, that's a good thing for the Bucs, am I right? But anyway, it's going to be really interesting to see what Cairo Santos does. Just digging a little bit into his stats and doing research that I did on a past live stream, from what I was able to gather, Cairo's pretty good from 49 yards and under, but past 49 yards and over, he is not very good at all. It's nice to see that he's pretty much, for the most part, if not automatic, semi-automatic from 49 yards and under. But hopefully they don't ask him to make a whole lot of long field goals, because he's not very good at that. And that also might tie into a little bit of him as a place kicker. Maybe he won't have as many touchbacks. We might see some more returned kicks here in this upcoming game versus the New York Giants. But hopefully Cairo Santos can break this this kicking curse that the Buccaneers have had since Matt Bryant left. You know, Chandler Catanzaro, the big cat, he's the latest victim to this curse. Cairo Santos has said that he does not believe in curses, so hopefully he can finally be the kicker to break this curse, I guess I should say. The next thing that I am looking out for is the Buccaneers linebacker position, and oh my gosh, they are banged up. Kendall Beckwith is not playing in this game, which, you know, really makes me question whether or not he's going to play the rest of the season now. And now Levante David is out as well, and obviously Quan Alexander tore his ACL earlier on this year. So that means our 3 starting linebackers, who are all 3 very good in their own right, are all out for this game versus the New York Giants. In their places, at left outside linebacker, it's more likelier than not going to be Devontae Bond, as it has been. At middle linebacker, it's more likelier than not going to be a Darius Taylor replacing Quan Alexander, as it has been. And at right outside linebacker, there's some speculation of who's going to be there. My bet is going to be Cameron Lynch, but I guess you could make an argument for Riley Bullough possibly, or maybe even Kevin Minter, who they recently re-signed to the team as well. But my money's on Cameron Lynch, which, you know, I like all 3 of these guys as individuals and as high-tier backups, but aside from a Darius Taylor, I don't know if Devontae Bond or Cameron Lynch are fringe starters, in my opinion. It should be really interesting to see. I'm kind of nervous, but at the same time, I trust all 3 of these guys and their abilities. But oh man, these injuries just keep on piling it up, don't they? And then finally, the last thing that I want to talk about, guys, is going to be Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham for the New York Giants. Oh my gosh, what a horrible time for the Buccaneers linebackers to just be completely depleted, because Saquon Barkley, you know, top 5 pick in this past draft. I liked Saquon Barkley a lot. I know a lot of you guys liked Saquon as well in this upcoming draft. A handful of people I know wanted him. I wanted Quentin Nelson, but I would have loved to have Saquon Barkley, and he's proving to be just an insanely valuable running back, one of the generational talent, as they said. Not only is he a phenomenal runner, he's a very good receiving back as well. He's a do-it-all type of running back, you know, and oh my gosh, I'm scared for our running backs, because the Buccaneers already had problems facing receiving backs, such as guys like Duke Johnson and Tevin Coleman. I don't think we had to play Duke Johnson this year, but you understand what I mean. Guys like Tevin Coleman, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, those 3 guys absolutely killed us, and Saquon Barkley, in my opinion, is right up there with those types of guys. So I'm pretty darn nervous about facing Saquon Barkley. A lot of you guys have mentioned that Saquon is just going to absolutely dominate this game. I really hope that doesn't happen, but I would not be surprised if that happened in the slightest. And then taking into account Odell Beckham, the Buccaneers have had a lot of problems facing the slant route in the past couple of years. And in my opinion, Odell Beckham is the king of the slant route, and he's already a phenomenal receiver. So it's going to be pretty tough. I think Brent Grimes or either Carlton Davis, whoever it's going to be, they're probably going to be covering Odell Beckham a lot, probably a combination of those guys, but I'm worried. You might see some double coverages versus Odell Beckham, but then you have to worry about guys like Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard and whatnot. The Giants have some offensive firepower, man. They definitely do. This could be another shootout. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm really, really, really worried about Odell Beckham and Saquon Barkley. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for my short little preview of this Week 11 game versus the New York Giants. What do you guys think about all of this? Let me know down in the comments section below, and thank you to all of you who voted in the poll. I believe we were at 140 votes or something like that. I'm going to be using that community tab a ton, and I mean a ton, guys. There's going to be tons of polls. There's going to be tons of posts. I'm going to be asking you guys your opinions on a lot of Buccaneers-related topics, from potential Dirk Cutter replacement options to potential Jason Light replacement options to draft picks to free agent signings to positions of need. Whatever we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be asking you guys for a lot of your opinions, and it's probably going to influence some videos that are made on this channel. So all interaction is greatly appreciated, guys. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys about all of this game versus the New York Giants down in the comment section below. I'm going to try and probably do a live stream tomorrow, but we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Go check out the Patreon down in the links below and whatnot, and all that kind of fun stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. But until then, and as always, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.